Hey, this is Nick from Paradise Lost, and you're watching CMS TV.
Was there almost a competitive spirit in you? And maybe not outwardly, but...
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, don't deny that. I'm totally competitive. I'm totally competitive. I know it's Iron Maiden, but you know what? I want to crush. I want my album to rise up like a space shuttle. I want it to go up there, man. I want my album to bloody put Elon Musk on Mars. That's what I want my album to do. You know, of course, absolutely competitive. That's how I've got from, coming from a single parent family living in a mobile home to become the number one singer, not bigging myself up, but in the number one band that I think is the number one band in the world. Because I'm competitive. I've got to try and be the best. That's a part of me. It's an ugly, dark part, perhaps, but come on, we are competitors. We're against everybody. So yeah, of course, Silicon Messiah, I was going, right, I'll show you. This is going to be everything. My whole life went into Silicon Messiah to making it. And when you listen to Born as a Stranger from the Silicon Messiah album, when we play Born as a Stranger live, and the way it comes to life, it's like, well, man, it's just as good as any Iron Maiden song of the era.
Chris Akin Presents. I, of course, am Chris Akin, and today on the show, we bring to you a vocal legend. Of course, you remember him from Iron Maiden. You should know him from what I would argue are two of the greatest records of the last 25 years, which would be Silicon Messiah and Blood and Belief, because they are amazing. You should definitely check those out. But today we are going to be talking about Iron Maiden and the X Factor. The man that did the singing on that record is going to be out there celebrating the 30th anniversary of the X Factor with a new tour. He is Blaze Bayley, and he is with us here right now. Blaze, how are you, man?
Good, man. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on your show. Thank you very, very much. So excited.
Well, dude, it's an exciting time, man. Let's just get right into it, man. The X Factor, and you know this as well as everybody, was not the best received record.
It couldn't be.
There was no.
The thing is, when you look back at that, it's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge emotional record, and it's also an emotional time for fans, because let's look at what really happened. Bruce Dickinson left Iron Maiden. He wasn't sacked, wasn't fired. He said, I'm going, I want to go. So then what happened? The band had a decision. Do we carry on or do we just stop? And the band was in turmoil for a while there. And I know this story because I got it firsthand from Dave Murray. He said, you know what? No, let's carry on. Let's carry on. And they decided to carry on. I had auditions. I was one of the people that auditioned. I was just incredibly blessed and lucky to be selected after auditioning with a lot of other people to be the singer. And when I started in the band, what Steve Harris said, there is no music written.
Okay.
Nothing. I don't care who writes the music or anything, as long as it's great. So it was open. It was an open book. And of course, Steve came up with some great ideas. But here's the thing. Everybody was going through a lot of changes at that time. Steve had turmoil in his life. I was coming into a new situation, and the band changing, people being uncertain, promoters around the world going, Iron Maiden can't survive this, because they didn't trust the fans, of which I was one, and I still am an Iron Maiden fan. So that was the background of it. And then we start down this path and we're swapping ideas and we're getting the songs together. And as it goes, the feeling is a dark, serious, emotional record. That's what's happening. And it's 100% from the heart. All that music is coming from a very real, authentic place. And the sadness of it is that hardcore Maiden fans did not want to feel that their favorite singer left their favorite band. And let's face it, we're fans. None of us want that.
Right.
We don't want it. We don't want it. I want my favorite band to be the same as the day I got into them, playing the same. That's what we all want as metal fans. But, you know, we have to go on that journey. And that was a part of it. Now, 30 years later, some of those people that hated me back then are dead. Some of them, right? Some of them have got so bored between albums, they've listened to everything, and they've gone, there's only one or two albums I haven't listened to properly, and that's the Blaze era. And I'm so bored now, and I'm sick of waiting for the next Maiden album. All right, I'll listen to the Blaze album. I'll listen to X Factor. And what happens, and this is generally, it's not for everyone. Generally, people go, I forgot. I never even realized how much great music, great melodies, interestingly, I didn't even give it a chance. And now, going back with the body of work that Iron Maiden have done since X Factor and Virtual 11, people go back and they listen to it and they go, wow, I didn't realize what I missed. Generally speaking, there are still people, and I'm probably the same. If I don't like the voice, I don't like the singer. People that don't like my voice, that's absolutely fine. That's just normal, you know. But there are people who go, no, I just listen to it. It's Iron Maiden, not listen to it. It's, you know, it's a big difference. But when you get into it, the nuts and bolts of it, there's just some great music.
Right.
Some big questions, asking about existence. Is God there? What is your relationship with God? What is war? Lots and lots of really big subjects and dark things that are talked about, the music and everything. So it's an exciting time to come back 30 years later. And here's the other thing that you don't realize is we're doing that album. I listen back to it now with a different perspective vocally. Because I go back, and when we were recording that album, and Steve Harris was a producer alongside Nigel Green, and I would be, you know, doing my recording and parts of the writing, Steve Harris would say, you know what, I think you should try it here in this place. And I'm going, well, Steve, I've never done that before. He said, just try it. And as we were going along the journey of recording, then slowly but surely, another third of my voice that I didn't know existed, I started to get access to this darker tone that I never knew I had access to before. And over 30 years from the X Factor recording, I've strengthened and developed. So now I go back and I go, these are great songs sung by someone that sounds like a boy. And now I sound like a man. So this is what's so exciting about doing the anniversary, because my voice now is so much stronger and I'm able to put over that emotion and connect with the songs, and then hopefully connect with the fans in a way that I never could back then. I just hadn't got the experience, and I've been doing some of the songs live for a long time, like Man on the Edge, and they have a feel of their own now. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. And I think it's fine that people hate me, fine that people, but you know, Bruce is their favorite singer, is the only good singer. That's absolutely fine, because that's just normal for a lot of metal fans. But there are those of us who will go, you know what? I don't want to miss out on any great music.
Right. This episode of the CMS Network is brought to you by our sponsor, Blackout Coffee. If you are a coffee lover, you will love what they are selling over at Blackout Coffee. Make sure you get yourself some. The only thing woke about this company is the drinker of the coffee, because it gives you quite a jolt. I am a personal fan of the Brutal Awakening Dark Roast, but everybody's a little bit different. Make sure you get what is your favorite today. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. Use the promo code CHRIA20 to save 20% on your first order. It's that simple. So one more time, blackoutcoffee.com. That is the link, or use the full link if you're going to shop around, that is scrolling on the bottom, and get yourself some of the best coffee that is out there today. blackoutcoffee.com. Let me ask you this, Blaze. Let me ask you about that time. When I personally listen to Virtual 11, I feel like you personally had matured with the band. Like, you know, you sound different than you do on the X Factor.
Absolutely, yeah.
Looking back at it yourself, do you look back and say, man, I wish this would have been the second record instead of the first one, because you would have been more maybe comfortable to say, no, I want to do it this way, or to put your own, because I mean, you're walking into one of the biggest bands in the world. It's got to be tough to say, no, Steve Harris, I'm going to do it this way.
I think the biggest thing was, Chris, there's, you know, writing the way that we did it. It's, you know, I've been in a band for years, wrote a lot of songs and everything. I learned a lot. The biggest thing that I could say about my time with Iron Maiden is how much I learned. And this is from people that have got gold and double platinum records all over the place, that have written some of the songs that are culturally important beyond the realm of heavy metal. It's as important as Star Wars is to pop culture. That's how important Iron Maiden are. And arguably, we can have this debate with almost anybody, who is the most important band? And I believe that in metal, even more, and I know people will have a go at me for this in the comments, but even more important than Judas Priest, and perhaps more important than Deep Purple, Iron Maiden. No one has done what Maiden have done over the years. You know, Metallica are gods of their own on a different mountain now. But even Metallica, even the great, wonderful Metallica that I love, still, there are things that Maiden have done that Metallica haven't done. And when I look back like that, I think, you know what, doing this, it was such an experience. I learned so much, and writing, and then as you work with people, you get a shorthand. Oh, like this. So the big thing that I missed was the third album that I thought I would get. I thought, you know what? We've done X Factor. It was good. We had a lot of great music on it. We've kind of learned with Virtual 11. And now I've got some ideas on my dictaphone, in my notepad, a couple of bits and pieces that I think, you know what? If I work with Steve on this, that's going to turn out great. If I work with Yannick on this, this will turn out great. If I do this song with Dave, this will turn out great. And I had this feeling that the next album, that third album, would change the world for me and my place in Iron Maiden. And sadly, because of business pressures and everything, and the way that the record business machine works, Bruce came back. They had a reunion. Let's see why. Because Deep Purple had a reunion. Black Sabbath had a reunion with Ozzy back then. Everybody, Judas Priest got Rob Halford back then. Everybody had a reunion. So the pressure from EMI to have a reunion, and this is when streaming is starting to come. worldwide, bits of plastic, vinyl and CDs just gone.
Right.
Gone, dropped out. So more than half your income has disappeared. We need to get interest back in the band. So, and then I think Bruce was ready. He needed that break. He needed that break, and he needed to take time out, and then he came back, and they came back strong. I don't resent that. I feel joyous because there has to be an Iron Maiden in the world, Chris. There has to be.
How much resentment did you have, Blaze, when you were let go? And let me explain it before you answer. Obviously, you're a fan of Iron Maiden. I mean, I'm guessing, and I know Tim Ripper Owens is a pretty good friend of mine, so he's told me this from Judas Priest. He told me day one that Rob Halford would be back. I'm sure at some point you expected Bruce Dickinson to come back. At the same time, when he did, then a lot of bullshit was thrown at you, like you had wrecked the band. So how much resentment did you have, or did you take with you? And did you use it to propel your solo work because you were a little bit angry?
I really, the thing was, I've always been a singer in a band. And I couldn't imagine being on my own and not being a singer in a band. I didn't allow myself to think about that. So, like, later that day when I was at home, I was thinking, what am I going to do? And I thought, well, I'll get a band together. I'll be a singer in a band. That's it. And and the other thing I thought was, you know what? I got a few great ideas to start with. I've got what I think might be an album title, and I've got a couple of big songs and melodies, and you know, I've got a lot of what I was hoping would be the third Maiden album. I thought, these ideas are mine, they belong to me. And you know what? Steve Harris said to me, you've got to try and make it. You've got to get about it. You've got to come back from this. It's not about you. It's not personal. You've got to try and get back from this, you know. And he gave me that confidence when I was writing with him. And what, you know, Man on the Edge was a top 10 hit around the world in the rock charts, #1 in some countries. Well, that's my lyrics and melody.
Sure.
So I got the confidence. Well, it's not that I wasn't good enough. It's just that people didn't know about me.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I could do it. So that was it for me. I just wanted Maiden to do well, but it was fine until I actually got Brave New World in my hand and put it in my CD player. And when I started listening to that's really I couldn't go all the way through it. And that first time that I heard it, after that, I got used to it. I liked it. But that first time, that was very, very difficult. But I was treated very well. I mean, Tim is a friend of mine, Tim Ripper Owens, and we've spoken about our experiences. And his is a little bit different to mine.
Sure.
I still talk to everybody in the band, and I go and see the band. I go and see Steve Harris with British Lion and everything. I think I was very fairly treated at the time. And the thing is, okay, those records, those two albums are of a different period in the Iron Maiden history.
Sure.
But Iron Maiden is so important to me and to a lot of fans that they're not ignored and blanked out. It's not like, oh, we didn't mean this. It's everybody put everything they had into writing and recording those records. It meant something at the time, and it still does. And to come back now with the anniversary of the X Factor, with the voice that I have now, it just feels like something very, very special. There's a lot of nostalgia, and this feels like, you know what? If there's a time that you're going to do it, it's now. And all the little bits that we've tried in rehearsal and we've snuck into a set list where it's just been, wow, it feels really, really good. So it's not a lot of resentment, but I think the main thing for me was I needed to keep going and find a band. I knew there were musicians out there, And I was lucky. I managed to find a great bunch of guys to make the Blaze Bayley albums and Silicon Messiah.
Hey, it's Chris Akin from the Classic Metal Show, Chris Akin Presents, and the Seth Williams Show, straight from the uncensored heart of the CMS network. We've just been crowned a certified Rumble creator, and that means we're bringing the heat. All our shows, commercial-free, baby. Advanced episode drops, sometimes months before the normal release, so you're not stuck waiting. You'll get all this plus exclusive content for Rumble Premium subscribers that'll blow your mind. And with Rumble Premium, you'll get every CMS Network show and all of Rumble's other videos with no ads and no fluff. This is our official home, Rumble. It's raw, powerful, and unfiltered. You want in? Just hit us up at rumble.com/register/classic metal show to sign up for free commenting, chat live, and just your ability to join the chaos of all of our shows. Then while you're there, swing by any of our videos, smash that Rumble Premium button, and level up. Subscribe now. Don't sleep on this. Hit the link in the description. Sure, and that's was there a point with Silicon Messiah? Was there almost a competitive spirit in you, and maybe not outwardly, but
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, don't deny that. I'm totally competitive. I'm totally competitive. I know it's Iron Maiden, but you know what? I want to crush. I want my album to rise up like a space shuttle. I want it to go up there, man. I want my album to bloody put Elon Musk on Mars. That's what I want my album to do. You know, of course, ultra, absolutely competitive. That's how I've got from, that's how I've got from coming from a single parent family living in a mobile home to become the number one singer, not bigging myself up, but in the number one band that I think is the number one band in the world. That's because I'm competitive. I've got to try and be the best. That's a part of me. It's an ugly, dark part, perhaps, but come on. We are competitors. We're against everybody. So yeah, of course, Silicon Messiah, I was going, right, I'll show you. This is going to be everything. My whole life went into Silicon Messiah to making it. And when you listen to Born as a Stranger from the Silicon Messiah album, when we play Born as a Stranger live, and the way it comes to life, it's like, well, man, it's just as good as any Iron Maiden song of the era, in my opinion. So it was just, of course, I was so competitive, Chris. Absolutely. And you can imagine the bitter disappointment when the album slowly failed. The manager I had at the time didn't book a single show to go with the tour. The record company I had at the time put it out the same week as Brave New World, the new Iron Maiden album with Bruce Dickinson. It was ready months and months before. So all of that, and then the next album failed, and the next album, for all the same reasons. It went on and on and on until I was just broke and working a regular job. It was, people would say to me, I was working my factory job, so what are you doing here? I said, exactly the same as you.
Yeah.
And I just came back. I had to come back, man. I've been broke 3 times over, started from nothing, and come back. But there's the one thing that I got from Maiden that's unshakable is that confidence of, well, you know what? It used to be that my songwriting, I felt like I had a lot of luck to get the song from here to make sense on the album. Mm-hmm. And then working with Steve Harris and Yannick Gers and Dave Murray, you know what? Here's what you do. To get the idea from here to the CD, to the album, these are the steps you take.
Right.
And this is how it makes, and you're, oh, right. So all this incredible lesson that's affected my whole life, 11 albums that I've done since, it's just incredible. So there's very little for me to be bitter about, because the things I've learned, maybe my albums since then they haven't been big, or, you know, in relative terms, I'm a small independent artist, but I can absolutely say they're quality. And the songwriting, I've pushed myself every time. And there are some great songs that I've managed to get out of here onto the CD.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
That's what I learned.
To me, everything that you've done since Maiden has been very strong. You know, not even just little. I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you. I tell people
Checks in the post, Chris. Checks in the post.
Well, I'm telling you, Blaze, I can't tell you how many times people have asked me to tell them a record they haven't heard that they should hear, and I go to Silicon Messiah. It's always my...
You are gold. You are gold, Chris.
It's such a good record, man. Let me ask you this, Blaze, about right now. Right now, obviously, you're going out to celebrate the 30th year or the 30th anniversary of X Factor. And from what I understand, you're also going to be celebrating Silicon Messiah's 25th, right?
We're doing that now. We're on the Silicon Messiah 25th anniversary tour. We still have some shows to do around the UK and Germany. And it's just gone absolutely incredible.
Sure.
And then we step on to we're rehearsing at the same time. It's a lot of work. We'll step on to doing the 30th anniversary of X Factor. And it's kind of, in a way, you know, I went from X Factor to making Virtual 11, and I'm on Virtual 11, and I'm going back to X Factor. There's some kind of weird poetry about the situation.
Sure. How much of celebrating what I'm assuming are you take, as well as the fans do, as the hallmarks of your career, how much of that comes just from the recent, like your recent health scare and obviously Paul Di'Anno passing? How much of that do you weigh and say, well, I got to make sure I get this done?
Well, it is a part of it, Chris, definitely. A part of doing it is you don't get too many chances to do things like this. And I've got the best attendances at my solo shows that I've ever had, and incredible reactions. I've got the most wonderful, loyal fans that support me in my dream. I'm living my dream. However humble it seems, I'm living my dream, and that was to be a professional heavy metal singer. That's it, and that's what I do. I'm able to do that, and there's not many heavy metal singing jobs around, and I've got one, and it's an incredible experience. And I think it's very sad to lose Paul, because he was the legend, much more than Bruce. And you know, I'm just the bit in the middle for Iron Maiden, and the interesting bit, I like to think. But Paul was a legend, man, and I worked with Paul, toured with Paul, and we did things where we shared the same band. And there are some nights where you close your eyes and just listen when he had a good band with him, and it's like, man, this is better than a record. It was so good. You know, just some nights where he was on, where just, I don't know what it was, but some nights it was just very, very special to hear those songs. They're just songs that stand on their own, from a young band that really, it's not that they just don't care about the rules. Oh, I want it to go like this. Well, that's not how you should do it. I don't care. That's how I want to do it. And that's what Maiden meant back then. For me, those first two albums with Paul, it's like, forget what you think you know and what you think metal should do. This is the way they do it. And that's what made it special. And that's, as it's developed over the years, it's still got that. So really miss Paul. When I had my heart attack, I never worried too much. I'm already living my dream of being, you know, at that time, I'm living it. I'm out, I'm gigging, I'm making records. That's what I dreamed of doing. I'm living that dream. But I thought, I don't want to leave it there. I need to see my fans again.
Right.
I need to see my fans again. I can't leave it there. I've just too much music in me. And then when Maiden went, we're doing album 1 to 9, I thought, I've got album 10.
There you go.
That's my album. It's not that it belongs to me, I don't own it, but psychologically speaking,
Right.
emotionally, the X factor, and one of the reasons that we stuck with X was because, of course, in Roman numerals, X is 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like X Factor, 10th album. It was a 10th studio album from Iron Maiden. And so, and I thought, you know what, I've got that.
Sure.
So if I'm going to do it, this is the time to do it.
Right
and with
on.
the voice I have and the people in my team, the musicians I work with, this could be very, very special. This could be a really big emotional situation, a big emotional event, for not just for me, but for so many people. And to have another crack at some of those songs with the voice I have now, it just feels like a gift, really, to be
Sure.
able to do it. So that was one of the things I thought, oh, well, it's a 30th anniversary and all of that. And then, oh, maybe we'll do a show. And then it's, you know what? It's the 10th studio album from Iron Maiden. We should be doing 10 shows and we should be doing 10 countries. And that's how it started. So where it will end, Chris, I don't know, because we
Right.
haven't really started. But you know how these things, you start them and they have a habit of rolling and getting a bit bigger, snowball. I don't know. But at the moment, it's 10 shows in 10 countries. And it's very, very exciting because in Finland, we've sold out 2 shows in Helsinki
Nice.
already. And it's like, what? So I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of it, but it's very, very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, I personally hope it does great because I find you to be one of the best guys out there. You're always fun and you're always energetic. Blaze, where's the best place for us to tell people to go online to not only keep up with tour dates and stuff, but actually buy your solo records, which I will say again and again and again, people should be buying them. Circle of Stone is every bit as good as anything that has come out in the last 5 years. So people should be buying these. Where should they go?
Okay, go to blazebayley.net. That's my website. Please sign up to my mailing list. And then we don't need to use any social media. I'll mail you once a month and I'll send you some free clips and exclusive stuff as well. And you can find out exactly what I'm doing, the whole truth, with no worries about scammers or, you know, fake news or anything like that. I will never contact anyone directly online through social media.
Bravo.
If anybody goes on social media and says, hey, I'm Blaze, do you want to join my fan club? They are liars, they are thieves, they are cheats, they are scammers. I will never do that. If you want to talk to me or meet me, you can come to one of my shows. The meet and greet at the Blaze Bayley show is included in the ticket price for everyone. You just have to be there early. It's as simple as that. People will go on to this official Blaze Bayley on Facebook and everything. People will go on and they'll make lovely comments and say nice things. Then the scammers will go and like all of your comments. And after a while, they'll say, hey, it's me, Blaze. How you doing? And all of this. And after another while, they'll go, do you want to join this exclusive fan club? There is no exclusive fan club. Right. Everything is free, right? You go to my website, it's free. That's it. On the website, there's a link to the shop. You can buy stuff off there. That's it. So to avoid the scammers, sign up to the mailing list and just get an email once a month. And you go, okay, these are my tour dates. This is my next recording. This is what's happening.
Very good, man. Well, one more time, it is Blaze Bayley out on the 30th anniversary tour of the X Factor. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you check out Silicon Messiah, and make sure you check out Blaze whenever he's near you, because the shows always kick ass. So, Blaze, this is always fun, man. Thanks for joining me once again on Chris Akin Presents.
Thanks for having me on your show. Thank you very much indeed. It's lovely to talk to you.